embodied in lower animals, insects, trees, and other species of life also become purified and prepared to become fully Krishna conscious simply by hearing the transcendental vibration. This was explained by Thakura Haridasa when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from him how living entities lower than human beings can be delivered from material bondage. Haridasa Thakura said that the chanting of the holy names is so powerful that even if one chants in the remotest parts of the jungle, the trees and animals will advance in consciousness simply by hearing the vibration. This was actually proved by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when he passed through the forest of Jarikanda. At that time, the tigers, snakes, deer, and all other animals abandoned their natural animosity and began chanting and dancing in Sankirtana. Of course, we cannot imitate the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but we should follow in his footsteps. We are not powerful enough to enchant the lower animals such as tigers, snakes, cats, and dogs, or entice them to dance, but by chanting the holy names of the Lord, we can actually convert many people throughout the world to Krishna consciousness. Contributing or distributing the holy name of the Lord is a sublime example of contributing or giving charity. Can you scroll down, Prabhuji? Distributing the holy name of the Lord is a sublime example of contributing or giving charity, the Dadati principle. By the same token, one must also follow the Pratighanati principle and be willing and ready to receive the transcendental gift. One should inquire about the Krishna conscious movement and open his mind in order to understand the situation of this material world. Thus, the Guhyam Akyati Prachati principles can be served. Someone else can continue. Can you zoom little more? It is very.
The members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness invite the society members and supporters to dine with them when they hold love feasts in all their branches every Sunday. Many interested people come to Hana Prasada, and whenever possible, they invite members of the society to their homes and feed them sumptuously with prasada. In this way, both the members of the society and the general public are benefited. People should give up the company of so called yogis, jnanis, karmis, and philanthropists because their association can benefit no one. If one really wants to attain the goal of human life, he should associate with devotees of Krishna consciousness, of the Krishna consciousness movement, because it is the only movement that teaches one how to develop love of God. Religion is the special function of human society and it constitutes the distinction between human society and animal society. Animal society has no church, mosque, or religious system. In all parts of the world, however, uh, in all parts of the world, however, downtrodden human society may be, there is some system of religion. Even tribal aborigines in the jungles also have a system of religion. When a religious system develops and turns into love of God, it is successful. As stated in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. The supreme occupation, dharma for all humanity, is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self. If the members of the human society actually want peace of mind, tranquility, and friendly relations between men and nations, they must follow the Krishna conscious system of religion by which they can develop their dormant love. By which they can develop their dormant love for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As soon as people do so, their minds will immediately be filled with peace and tranquility. In this regard, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur warns all devotees engaged in broadcasting the Krishna conscious movement not to speak to the impersonalist Mayavadis who are always determined to oppose such theistic movements. The world is full of Mayavadis and atheists, and the political parties of the world take advantage of Mayavada and other atheistic philosophies to promote materialism. Sometimes they even back a strong party to oppose the Krishna consciousness movement. The Mayavadis and other atheists do not want the Krishna conscious movement to develop because it educates people in God consciousness. Such is the policy of the atheists. There is no benefit in feeding a snake milk and bananas because the snake will never be satisfied. On the contrary, by taking milk and bananas, the snake simply becomes more poisonous. Kevalam Vishavardhanam. If a snake is given milk to drink, its poison simply increases. For a similar reason, we should not disclose our minds to the serpent Mayavadis and Karmis. Such disclosures will never help. It is best to avoid association with them. It is best to avoid association with them completely and never ask them about anything confidential because they cannot give good advice. Nor should we extend invitations to Mayavadis and atheists, nor accept their invitations. For by such intimate intermingling, we may become affected by their atheistic mentality. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. It is the negative injunction of this verse that we should refrain from giving anything to or accepting anything from the Mayavadis and atheists. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also warned Vishaira Anna Khaile Dushta Haya Mana. By eating food prepared by worldly people, one's mind becomes weak. Unless one is very advanced, he is unable to utilize everyone's contribution to further the Krishna consciousness movement. Therefore, on principle, one should not accept charity from the Mayavadis or atheists. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has forbidden devotees to associate even with ordinary men who are too addicted to material sense gratification. The conclusion is that we should always keep company with devotees, observe the regulative devotional principles, follow in the footsteps of the acharyas, and in full obedience carry out the orders of the spiritual master. In this way, we shall be able to develop our devotional service and dormant Krishna consciousness. The devotee who the devotee who is neither a neophyte nor a Mahabhagavata, a greatly advanced devotee, but is within the middle status of devotional service, is expected to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, make friends with the devotees, show favor to the ignorant, and reject the jealous and demoniac. In this verse, there is brief mention of the process of making loving transactions with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and making friends with the devotees. According to the Dadhati principle, an advanced devotee is supposed to spend at least 50% of his income on the service of the Lord and his devotees. Srila Rupa Goswami has set such an example in his life. When he decided to retire, he distributed 50% of his life's earning to Krishna's service and 25% to his relatives and kept 25% for personal emergencies. This example should be followed by all devotees. Whatever one's income, 50% should be spent on behalf of Krishna and his devotees, and this will fulfill the demands of Dadati. In the next verse, Sri Rupa Goswami informs us what kind of Vaishnava should be selected as a friend and how Vaishnavas should be served. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I think Mataji is joined.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I was muted. I didn't even see. I was speaking. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. Stop sharing. Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurvanmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Mugam Karodi Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatrapatamaham Mande. Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam. Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताक स्वामी नित्य नामिनी नमो आचार्य पदाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकदा दामदाय नगर ग्राम तारिणे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So you read the purport about the 6 loving exchanges. And now these 3 verses which we are going to see now, the next and next to next is first is 6 loving exchanges, which is actually 3 exchanges are there, but when it comes mutual, then it becomes 6. After that, we will see the next verse as 3 categories of devotees. So whenever there is a dealing of preeti or love in intimate dealings, these 6 activities are executed. So you saw the purport, what kind of, you can see here also how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, they had very, very wonderful dealings. Generally, philosophically speaking, a jiva doesn't have a relationship with another jiva. What are we trying to do in this world is we already take a material body. Second, we consider ourselves to a body. There itself it's wrong. The second mistake is assuming that the relationship will work in this material world. This is a great assumption. It will never work. Why? Because any endeavor, I'm not talking about devotees, I'm talking about non-devotees. Because any endeavor is missing, Krishna is missing. So there cannot be any auspiciousness. So the jiva and jiva will try to establish some relationship and end up in frustration. Every jiva will try to establish, no, this is my mother, this is my, like Vatsalya, Rasa, everything we want to get from another living entity, which is actually not possible. Even friendship is not possible unless we put Krishna in the center. So when Krishna becomes the center, primarily for a Vaishnava's life, then we think for Krishna, we cook for Krishna, everything we're going to do for. Yesterday we had an elaborate discussion, and then we saw that how cooking for Krishna is very important. With great love and affection, just cook for Krishna. Anyway, we need to eat every day. Anyway, we need to eat. So there's a great opportunity to establish a loving connection with the Supreme Lord by consciously cooking for the Supreme Lord and also offering for Him. So in this way, so that exchange of Preeti Lakshanam also with the Lord, but primarily here it's talking about dealing with devotees. So devotee means the person who is dedicated in the service of Krishna, is chanting Hare Krishna, getting initiated, and then he's living for Krishna. So we'll see the dealings. Yesterday we saw the verse तदाधि प्रतिग्रहणादि गुह्यमाख्यादि पृच्छति भुङ्क्ते भोजयते सैव चत्विदं प्रीति लक्षणम्. So dadadi means giving charity to devotees, offering gifts in charity. Pradigраhnadi means accepting the devotees whatever they may offer in return or accepting charitable gifts. Guhyamakyadi means opening one's mind to the devotees, revealing one's mind in confidence. Prachati means inquiring from them about the confidential service of the Lord. So typically, Guhyamakyati Prachati is one person is going to inquire, another person is going to preach. Typically, this is about it. It's not that there's a secret, I have a girlfriend. I have a boyfriend. So some nonsense is considered secret in this world. It's not secret. We know that everybody will have some nonsense relationships and later it won't work. It will end up in frustration unless you put Krishna in the center. The owner of the house is Krishna. Unless that concept is there, there will be always problem. So Guhyamakyati Prachati, you'll see Prabhupada is explaining that it is nothing but a person who is new to Krishna conscious, he doesn't know. So there is a superior, there is a junior and there is a senior. So the junior devotee inquires from senior devotee various matters and trying to get him to know. And Bhunkte is honoring prasada or spiritual food given by the devotees and accepting prasada. Both. Bhungte bhojayate. Bhojayata means, first is bhungte means honoring prasada given by devotees. When the devotee give very happily, we should take it. Bhojayate means feeding the devotees with prasada. We have to offer prasadam to devotees. So, the Dadadi principle, this is called Dadadi principle. Prabhupada is mentioning it as a principle. So, what is Dadadi principle? Dadadi principle is nothing but contributing or giving charity. Now, what and all you will start giving charity? Oh, lakhs and lakhs of money, this, that. You may have many ideas in your mind. That is why directly reading the sloka without the purport, you won't yield anything but except confusion. Many people want only Prabhupada, but sometimes we see that they don't even read the purports. So contributing or distributing, what are all the list he is giving? What are all the list Prabhupada is mentioning? As charity giving. Contributing or distributing the holy name of the Lord is a sublime example of contribution given in charity, the Dadadi principle. By the same token, one must also follow the Pradigrahanadi principle by willing and ready to receive the transcendent gifts, like garland offered to Krishna. There can be many, but they are all transcendental gifts. We should. So, in principle, one should not accept charity from Mayavadi or atheist, and those two addicted to material. Three people we don't accept anything from them, give and take. We don't accept from Mayavadis or atheists, and those two addicted to material sense gratification. I have a question for you. In ISKCON, we are collecting from people and we don't check their background, whether they are Mayavadis, atheists, or they are addicted to material sense gratification. Yeah, almost everybody is addicted to material sense gratification. Still, they contribute or donate to ISKCON. So, why it is written here like this, but we are told not to accept charity? Can any of you say something about this? Is it not? So, how many of you agree that, see, it is mentioned one should not accept charity from Mayavadis, atheists, and those two addicted to material sense gratification? What does this mean? Does this mean donation which is given to ISKCON?
Actually, I think for personal level we should not accept, but if come to institutional level, then means for personal level it is very dangerous.
Very good, very good, very good. In personal level, as a Brahmana or an initiated devotee, we should not, like when we go to devotees' homes, they will give something to us. And when we, with affectionate, loving devotees, we exchange give and take policy, because that will not entangle you. Even if you take anything from a non-devotee, taking anything from a non-devotee will you have to repay that. Whatever you are getting free, that you need to repay back to him. But we need not do that to Krishna. We just offer to Krishna. So in principle, one as an individual, this is talking about relationship of an individual with another individual. This sloka. This is not about the institution. So individually, we should not accept charity from Mayavadi, atheist, or material sense gratification. If we accept to return back, we need to come back again. If Krishna's plan is to take us back home, then why do we need to disturb it by doing something which Krishna doesn't like? So better not to accept charity from Mayavadis, atheists, or material sense gratificatory people. And so you should understand, contributing and distributing holy name is the example of giving charity. There can be many Mahaprasadams of the Lord can be given, eatables can be given, and so many other things like offered mala can be given. So many gifts. You can, when you meet a devotee, you can hug them and give them some gifts. And you also accept, provided they are all your confidential associates and you know what is going on in their life. Okay, so that is about Dadadi. Dadadi means donation, giving charity or gift like this. What does Guhyamakyati Prichati? Guhyamakyati. Guhyamakyati means an experienced devotee explains to an inexperienced devotee, he will learn from it. This is Guhyamakyati. So in this also there is prohibition. What to do, what not to do. That is what is given. The previous what to do is giving Harinam and other also willing to accept any gift which is given. So Guhyam means secret. So an experienced devotee explains, and why it is considered secret, because science of Krishna is kept very carefully within Bhakti Shastri, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, that unless one voluntarily, interestedly take these two scriptures, looking at the size of the book only, everybody will get scared. So it is best to, so we have to, Guhyam means an experienced devotee explains and an inexperienced devotee learns from it. But we should not disclose our minds to the serpent Mayavadis and Karmis. Such disclosures will never help. Even going and asking him about any pastimes of Krishna, or thinking that he is also a spiritual person, that shouldn't be done. So do's and don'ts are given here. Should not do. And it is best to avoid association with them completely and never ask them about anything confidential, because they cannot give good advice. See, when a person doesn't know something, why do you need to go and ask them? Go and ask any Mayavadi. He don't know anything. He don't know the transcendental position of Krishna. He don't even know that the spirituality has a transcendental thread which is running across program to program. So it is best to avoid association with them totally. So this is Dadadi and Pradigrahnati, Dadadi principle and Pradigrahnati principle. That both we have seen. Now comes the Bhungte Bojayate Chaiva. That principle we are seeing only from the purport. In order to maintain our spirit of devotional service, we must accept this prasada as the Lord's grace. Don't think that devotee is giving me prasadam. That devotee. Sometimes that devotee may become tired, and even if you ask, he may not bring. So you should know that everybody is sitting there not to develop relationship with you, but to develop relationship with Krishna, which is totally lost, totally hopeless. So we should also invite pure devotees to our home, offer them prasada. So first thing is accept some prasada. Accept this prasada. And when accepting, remember that it is given by Lord Krishna. Next is we should also invite pure devotees to our home, like Guru Maharaj, and offer them prasada and be prepared to please them in all respect. This is called Bhungte Bhujayat. So these definitions are given in the purport. So, but same way here also there is a do's and don'ts. So the doing is encouraged. All these activities are encouraged. Inviting devotees to the home, all of you sitting and reading and understanding certain scriptures. These are all very, very pleasing. But as soon as you change the icon from tick mark to into mark, where I would have brought change, wouldn't have brought change, but as soon as I show. So here it is said we should not extend our invitation. Just don't invite anybody and everybody thinking it is mercy like that. So no need to invite, give invitation to Mayavadis and atheists, nor accept their invitation, by which such a intimate intermingling we may become affected by their atheistic mentality. So they have two things. They have that Brahma Gayatri and that Nav Gayatri. And then now Prabhu has written down from Shani. I think he will live with for some time. Maybe. We should not extend our invitation to Mayavadi atheists, nor accept their invitation. For they cannot see why we should not associate. By such, this is about, Bhungte Bojayate Chaiva. So, first thing, in order to maintain devotional service, anyway, the body requires some food, right? Without the fuel, the gadi won't go. So we are converting that eating habit, which is very not habit, it's a mandatory thing. We didn't even know it's a mandatory when we started, but it gradually progressed, and then we know now. So here in this verse, we can see that in Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapila Dev comes and he totally offers his obeisances and surrenders into Krishna. So that is the speciality. 1 second. And you can see that how Prabhupada is honoring Prasada. The real word honor applies only to Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, we are speaking something, we are not conscious that we are making jewelry. And they will use it for some days and they'll throw it because it is not in the set term. They will, of course, use it. If anybody gives donation, it will be used. So we should also invite pure devotees to our home, offer them prasada, and be prepared to please them in all respect. This is called Bhunte Bhojayate Chaiva. Am I blabbering something?
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji. Puja the Ganpati.
Okay, I'm summarizing the purport here. That's all. I'm summarizing the purport. We should not extend the invitation to Mayavadis or atheists, nor accepting their invitation. For by such intimate intermingling, we may become affected by their atheistic mentality. So it's like a contagious disease. They talk some atheistic philosophy, and this Mayavadis, they will give some Mayavadi explanation which will doom us in the head, and we may become doubtful that whether Krishna has separate form, is it that the same in Sri Rangam, what is that? Is that not Krishna's form? Whatever. So many confusions. So why? Because there is no guidance of senior devotee. And in case, what about Guhyamakyati Prachati? So now, when you are going to deal like that with Karmis and Mayavadis, how do you deal? If you have, don't invite them and give them prasadam, Krishna shower mercy, Prabhupada Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has showered mercy, so he will deliver him also. Like that, if you take responsibility, you will undergo a lot of headache. So there is no benefit of feeding milk on bananas to the snake, because the snake will never be satisfied. Never. Pour it, it will eat, again it will come back. Pour milk, it will drink it, and then again come back. Pour milk, again it will drink, again it will come back. So on the contrary, by taking milk and bananas to the snake, simply become more poisonous. So you go, kevalam vishavardhanam. If a snake is giving milk to drink, it is poison, simply increases. So we'll wind up. For a similar reason, we should not disclose our mind, neither take food from the serpent like Mayavadis and Karmis. So here, the Mayavadis and Karmis are compared to the serpent. And if you keep on be feeding that there is a snake, let us assume that you see a snake. Generally, snake comes where there are a lot of frogs or something, because it can easily have a prey and food and just go back and grab something. We say, no, I'm just out of office. I'll grab something and come back. So what is this? So for a similar reason, so what we should do is, the snake is given milk, and then if you feed it, then poison will increase. So if you call a Mayavadi and explain your points or philosophical points, the Mayavadi will note it, and he will use it against you only. If a snake given milk to drink, it's poison. So why should not we give milk to the snake? People you can see in some temples in South India, they pour wherever the snake is living, they pour milk. Why they pour milk is so that the snake won't come out, because it's food, it has got its food. So that is why they are feeding it. And of course, they are praying to the Nagadevata and then pouring water, pouring milk. You can see some ladies doing it, pouring milk in the snake hole like this. But Prabhupada is advising that better not to give milk to the snake. Why? Because it will become more stronger, it will more envious, and the teeth has poison, and that poison increases due to the nourishment of this milk. So avoid association with them completely. Intimate intermingling may become affected by their atheistic mentality. So better to avoid. So this is the analogy which is given here. Okay. This is about the verse. We have completed this verse. We'll see the next verse tomorrow on Monday. Before that, I want to announce something. Just a second. What is happening?